All right, so Tua didn't necessarily have his best day. Listen, it wasn't all his fault. There were plenty of issues with this Dolphins offense, but let's talk about what was his fault. Let's talk about what went wrong with Tua, and we'll talk about the entire offensive ineptitude and good defense by the Tennessee Titans as well. So let's just get into it. So, let's start off with this one. This is just kind of one of those not a great throw kind of things where it's going to be a zone coverage play. You have a receiver running a route that could get into a gap in coverage. So I don't hate this read by any means. I think this is fine. This is something that can work on paper. Right when Tua takes the snap, you're going to see that there is kind of an opening, but he has to get it over that Tennessee player who I've circled in yellow. And you can either try to throw it just over him or off to the side, but you have to get it past him. That's kind of the difficulty of this play and why it's a bit more of a tougher throw than maybe it looks like on paper. Tua tries to make this throw and just underthrows it a little bit. Could have been intercepted. Kind of a little lucky that one gets tipped up. So again, some of these are just that. These are tough throws that he just didn't quite hit, which again, part of that might just be the weather. I do think the weather had an impact to some degree in this game. Obviously there was this play where the ball is just going to kind of, hilariously fall out of his hands. I'll show the other angle where you can see it a little better. He has it after the fake handoff. So I don't think it was just that's where he lost it. I think it just slipped out of his hands due to field conditions. I think that's what happened. So, it's funny. Do I really blame Tua for this stuff? Not really. It's just kind of unfortunate. And the reality is, I think, is that I always kind of look at this and say, well, how often could something like this happen? Do I expect this to happen in the future? And I don't really. More of a tough break. Kind of it is what it is. Also on this one, on a 3rd and 1, they would, fumble a snap. The broadcast said it was Tua's fault. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they said. Either way, not the best. You don't want it to happen. But again, if this was all he did and he plays, fine outside of this, I wouldn't really care that much. But we did see some more missed throws, like this one, which is going to be a bad missed throw. Tua throws it up, and that one, I don't know how that wasn't dropped. Again, conditions can work both ways, I guess, because that had every business being an interception, and Tua just got away with one. There's no other way to phrase that. There was also one like this where, again, just going to be a bit of a missed throw. You see, he just throws it a bit high, not crazy, but a bit high. Also this one where he's going to be on the move, so it's tough, but he also still does underthrow it. That's what happened there. We can say, hey, it was a tough throw. It was, but you would like to see your quarterback make some tough throws sometimes. That's how you make the playoffs, of quarterbacks who make the tough play every now and then. Now, to be clear, there were some legitimately good throws too. I'm not trying to say all he did was bad and there was only bad throws. No, obviously that's not the case. You're always going to have a blend of both in it. And there were some good plays. I thought there was a lot of these good over-the-middle stuff that we know Tua can do well. He has a history of doing these well. On this play, it's going to be a quarters coverage play. You have a player who's going to be running over the middle. This is the kind of stuff that Miami likes to do. And look, Tua's going to be able to, on this play, make the throw over the middle, and you get the completion. That's a good play by Tua. This one, another one, where this is going to be a deep shot, and he's going to hit it. So this stuff did happen and certainly was on tape. But there was also just stuff like this, where it's just, quite frankly, these are bad plays. The first one, maybe not so much, but the second one, again, it's another miss. And there were just too many of these misses for me to consider it a good game. That's, quite frankly, how I viewed it. And, again, if you disagree, I guess that's fine. But I just my opinion on this is not what I've come to expect from Tua. These past few weeks, Tua has not played as well as he was during that good stretch. I think that that's fair to say. And I think it's okay to say that I expect better from Tua than what we've seen recently. So yeah, first things first, we did legitimately see some very good defense by the Titans. There wasn't a ton open. I thought, pressure certainly got there. Part of that is the Dolphins' offensive line isn't very good. We all know that. And, the Titans are able to get pressure as well. And also, I thought the Titans covered very well. So, I'm not expecting this to be an offensive outburst by the Dolphins by any means. I think it's understandable that they had some struggles in this one. I do. I think that's fine. I do think that there is some issues as well. And part of those issues, it should be mentioned, we also don't know how much of it was the weather. How much of this bad field conditions played a role in this. I think that could have happened, and if that is an issue, then maybe that's just it. Maybe it was just it was one of those weird weather games, and that's that. But at the same time, I think we have to be honest and say this wasn't a great performance from Tua. I know that Tua fans really like to defend Tua on every moment they can, and part of that is just when you have a young quarterback on your team, you're going to defend them because you want them to succeed so badly. And part of it is I think Tua has gotten some unfair criticism this season, especially early on, but these past couple of weeks, it just hasn't been the best for him. And, I talked about how if you're a PFF fan, the past 2 games, he had the lowest 2-game stretch of his career in terms of PFF grades. And I'd be surprised if it's not now the worst 3-game stretch of his career, because this wasn't a great game either. That's just what I saw from what I could see on tape. Maybe seeing the All-22 will change that a little bit, but most of what the Dolphins do, you can see on the screen anyway, so I don't know if that's the case. I think it was probably just not a great day from Tua. Again, I also probably would say that, okay, sure, not the best day from Tua. I get it, all of that. But at the same time, I think it's also fair to say, you have to give him another year. I'm not saying give up on Tua by any means. That would be absurd. I think that Tua's done a lot well this season, and I want to see him with a better offense. I want to see him with a better offensive line and see what he can do. I want to see all of that stuff. I think that Tua has a lot of potential, and I like a lot of what Tua can be. But I've also, I stand by, he's had some bad games this year. It has not been a perfect season for him. So again, I think that's a fair take. I think the fair take is there's stuff he does well, there's stuff he has to improve upon, and I think that's kind of how I think about it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I know you will. What are your thoughts on Tua? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.